You may know this as a cat camel. So I'm flexing and extending my spine, and you can see that I'm using my head. So tucking my chin when I'm making the camel and lifting my head on the cat. Now you must do this slowly and build up the range and do it with the breath. Now we're making big circles with the shoulder rolling back, focusing on the upper part of the back. Now move to the lower part, tilting your pelvis forward and back, focusing on the lumbar spine. Next, you start flexing laterally, so you're opening up the ribs, making the distance between your hip and your shoulder larger, and as you get more confident, you can begin to mobilize the spine in all the planes, kind of rolling around and exploring more freedom and more movement. So start to rock back and forward, moving your pelvis, your hips, and your whole back in this flowing fashion. As you get more confident, you can start dropping back into this child pose. Do it very slowly and with the breath, so breathing out the whole way back as you tuck your chin. And then lift your head, push forward and go into extension. Just let your hips naturally start sinking to the floor and squeeze the shoulder blades back together. Don't push the range to the very end the first few times you do this. Just gradually build it up. So a little bit further back and a little bit further forward each time. Always breathing out the whole way through the stretch. Opening up the chest in this position and letting your hips sink. And then really pushing your hips back when you drop back. So you can take your hands away and just let the weight of your body bring your head to the floor, rest everything on your heels. As you get a bit more confident, you can start to explore more movement, more range. So moving your upper body in different directions. And just letting the muscles of the back slowly lengthen. You can bring the arms in to help you kind of find more range. Here's a great move for decompression. You can do this anytime if you've been walking or doing other exercise. Your back feels a little tight. If you've been sitting, it works really well. So you're going to let your stomach and belly just drop into the floor, let the lower back relax, and you gently lift the chest and upper back. It's very important every time you breathe out to let that stomach just drop into the floor. Find neutral with your shoulders on this next one, and now you start looking over your shoulder. So you're getting some thoracic movement and also a little bit of gentle rotation. And just start turning the shoulders and looking over them, getting everything loose. Find neutral in the shoulder and find neutral at the pelvis. Nice breath in, ribs down, and then we can work on some arm lifts. So again, setting everything before we start. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders, neutral spine, ribs down, breath on, and no change in the body, just lifting a limb. We can progress that now. Find neutral every time with the shoulders and with the pelvis. And then push one foot away and straighten the leg, and really work on the stability of your spine. No movement in that upper body. Once you're nailing that, you can go to opposite arm and leg. So reducing the base of support now to just 2 limbs. And again, preserving spinal stability, keeping everything still. If you had a glass of water balanced on your back, you shouldn't be spilling it. Find neutral always, and you can try this bent leg variation now. It's going to hit your glute a little bit harder and just challenge you to keep that lumbar spine neutral throughout. Drive the foot to the ceiling.